Jost Capito has been recruited by Williams as their new CEO. But who is he? And is he the right man to take the fallen giants back to world championships in Formula 1? My name's Andy and this is Behind the Drive. Since Jost Capito took over Williams in August of 2020, they've been seeking a new CEO to take their team back to the heights that it reached in the 80s and 90s, where the team achieved their 9 Constructors' Championships and 7 Drivers' Championships. In the months since taking over the team, Doralton have been looking for a new leader to take over the day-to-day running of the team, and they've selected Jost Capito, a man with a rich history in multiple different motorsport disciplines, with a career spanning across 4 decades. So, as Capito takes on the challenge of becoming the CEO of the team that ended the 2020 championship at the bottom of the standings, I thought we'd take a look at his history and see why Jost Capito selected him. Capitos Experience. To take a brief look at Capito's CV in motor racing, we must begin by taking a look back to the 1980s, where, straight out of university, he joined the M division at BMW, where he was involved in making the intake and exhaust manifolds on the E30 M3. During his time at BMW, Capito was not only an impressive engineer, but also a racing driver, as he won the truck class of the Dakar Rally in 1985. And later in the decade, in 1989, he made the move to Porsche's race department before, in 1996, he made the switch to Sauber, joining their executive committee, his first experience at a team involved in Formula 1, and was said to be involved in the astute decision to bring Kimi Räikkönen to the team, despite being a relatively inexperienced driver. After 5 years, he moved on from Sauber, and Capito moved to Ford, where he was heavily involved in the Focus Mark 1 RS, a car that was an incredible success for the American brand and is one of the most recognisable cars of all time. The Mark 1 RS was also the base model for the manufacturer's entry into the World Rally Championship, and the car that gave the team back-to-back victories in the Manufacturers' Championship in 2006 and 2007. Soon after this success, Volkswagen approached the German manager with an offer to lead their World Rally Championship team. And Capito repeated his success, leading the team through a period of WRC dominance, similar to that of Mercedes in Formula 1 today, winning the Drivers' and Manufacturers' Championships 4 times in a row from 2013 to 2016, with the team's success in 2016 coming after Capito had announced that he would take the next step in his career by joining McLaren in Formula 1 as their CEO working under Ron Dennis. Capito did stay with the German rally team until his replacement had been confirmed, meaning he was involved for 9 of the 13 rounds of the championship, which the team went on to win. Capito was brought in by McLaren to take the team back to success and had set out its plans with Ron Dennis. He joined the team at the 2016 Italian Grand Prix in September, but was only with the team for 4 months. The change came about after Ron Dennis stepped down as McLaren boss after 35 years. With the new leadership seeking a different direction, Capito was left unable to continue with the plan that had been set out, and so subsequently left the team in December 2016. The early departure from McLaren took Capito back to Volkswagen, where he was involved in setting up their R-branded vehicles, which are the performance version of the brand's standard models. Under Capito's leadership, the performance brand has released a number of cars, including the highly successful Golf R and more recently the T-Roc R. After stepping down in late 2020 from his role, Capito has now been announced as the new CEO of Williams, where he will join the team on the 1st of February 2021. The move represents a new challenge for the experienced leader as he joins the team that have finished last in each of the last 3 Formula 1 seasons, scoring just 8 points across those 3 years. Is he the right man for the job? Well, let's start by looking back on Capito's short stint at McLaren, as it says a lot about his character and approach. He's said to have identified a number of key weaknesses in the team early on, but after a review from the new management, he was said to have had responsibilities that were too similar to that of Eric Boulier, who was, at the time, the racing director of the team. On his departure, McLaren were quoted as saying, "Regrettably, we have not been able to find common ground on what is and what will be needed to make the team successful again." And while, in hindsight, it looks like McLaren have indeed found a way towards recovery, this took the team considerable time as they continued to flounder through 2017 and 2018 before adopting a more relaxed atmosphere with realistic goals for their recovery in 2019. You could argue that this would have happened sooner if they'd listened to Capito's early diagnosis and taken a more realistic approach to their recovery within the sport, but it wasn't to be. You can also take a look at Capito's hands-on approach within the Volkswagen Rally team. To start, let's look at the numbers. The VW Polo R took part in 52 rallies and won 43 of them, a staggering winning ratio of 82.69%. To offer a comparison, since the V6 turbo hybrid era began in Formula 1 in 2014, Mercedes have won 102 of the 138 races, giving them a win percentage of 73.91%. So the Volkswagen team were truly dominant in the WRC event, and arguably more successful than Mercedes in Formula 1 today. Jost Capito was right at the centre of this rallying success, and he continued to push the team towards the future. He claimed that the team would have continued their success into 2017 had the parent company not withdrawn the team amidst the diesel emissions scandal. But the reasons for this belief of the German team leader was because they'd begun testing the 2017 Polo R earlier than all other teams, as they'd stopped the development of the 2016 car by the end of 2015, with the focus then entirely on the new 2017 regulations. Such was their dominance of the sport. This shows how strong Capito was as a leader, and to add to this, he was said to be always one of the first people to arrive at each rally stage, as he took a hands-on approach being the team principal, and ensured he was visible to the team personnel. It's this approach that could work for the Williams team, as he's a likeable character and can develop and nurture a highly successful team, as he's done in the past. So if Williams are ready to accept Capito's potentially harsh diagnosis of the team's flaws and pitfalls, then perhaps the team will embark on a road back towards the front of the grid. After all, the German does have some significant experience at the top level of motorsport, including within Formula 1 at Sauber. And it seems like that's the direction that Jost Capito is keen to take the team in, as they're investing more to take the outfit back to their former heights of world championships. Unlike his time at McLaren, this time Capito joins after the ownership of the team has already changed hands, so presumably they've researched the new CEO's credentials and approach to motorsport leadership. So it seems like this new era for the team will continue. At the same time, the team have announced that Simon Roberts, the interim team principal put in place after Claire Williams' departure at the Italian Grand Prix, has had his role made permanent, as he was praised for providing stability during the transition period. So, as Capito moves into his new role to take charge of the strategic approach for the team, we can expect some subtle but significant changes to the team in terms of their approach and potentially the personnel as well. There's certainly a long road ahead for the team, and I certainly won't be expecting any drastic changes in their form for 2021, but I think we may potentially see the team moving up the grid when the new regulations come in for 2022 and beyond, as the team has some time for the changes to bed in. Overall, I believe this is an astute move for the growth-based outfit, as the changes continue following the takeover by Jost Capito. But this move, for me at least, brings with it some optimism for the future, as the team certainly has the potential to move up the grid throughout the next few years. Whether we see a Williams World Championship winning car anytime soon remains unlikely for me, as the team fundamentally has less resources than most of its championship competitors. But I don't think they'll be left at the back of the grid under the new CEO in Jost Capito. So that's my view on Jost Capito's history and whether he has the potential to take the Williams team back to the front of the grid in Formula 1. I think it's a great move for the team, and it will surely create a spark of hope within the team that have struggled over the last few years. I think the team have turned a corner since the takeover from a management perspective, and I think we'll see them moving up the order soon. Let me know your thoughts on the Williams appointment in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content like this in the future.